Hello, everyone. Once again, a good afternoon from Art Lounge Manila. I am Sindel Tiausas, and we would like to welcome you to the live stream opening of Life is Good by BidiBidi. And to tell us more about this show, let's welcome Mr. Ricky Francisco, the exhibit curator.
BidiBidi paints abstracts, but her paintings will remind you of flowers in full bloom and of fields that are fruiting and are very full. This is because her mantra is that life is good. And every time she paints, it shows. Her paintings employ a very, very colorful palette that is very well balanced, and yet it evokes joy and fun and serenity. And these are things that we all believe to be good in our culture. Uh, so, in essence, they define what is good in Filipino. They're very Filipino in that way, in the same way that Amorsola's paintings define bounty and joy and yung tinatawag nating payapang buhay, matiwasay na buhay, sapat, at minsan hindi lang sapat, hitik, sagana, kasaganaan. Ayan. So these are values that you see in all of BidiBidi's paintings. However, if you would notice, her palette is quite different from what we are very used to. Instead of the very striking colors, they're more pastel or more secondary colors. And they actually remind me of a lot of American works. So in this sense, they're Filipino, but they're also cosmopolitan. And so I really, really like seeing her works. They always bring me joy. I hope you could come and visit her exhibition at Art Lounge Manila from September 17 to 30. Thank you.
And there we have it. That was a quick walkthrough of the show that is currently ongoing at Art Lounge Manila, and it's running from September 17 to September 30. And without further ado, the woman of the hour, let us introduce BidiBidi herself, the artist of the exhibition Life is Good. Hello, how are you doing this afternoon?
Hi, Sindel. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm
So,
now here in Baao, Camarines Sur. I'm here in Baao, where I'm based. And so, yeah, everything's okay here.
your space, your studio there looks so fun. Like I see all those books behind you, and I just want to get there and, and read. Um, that tells me that indeed life is good. So you entitled the show "Life is Good," and we heard from Ricky that your mantra, your life mantra, is "Life is good." So why? How can you say that life is indeed good? What makes you say
What?
that?
Yeah. I've always been inspired. The inspiration I have in making anything is actually coming from within. So I don't really look for something to inspire me. Everything comes from it within, and I have I can say that I have a grateful heart. So everything in life is good. That does not mean that I do not meet any contrast or problem, but I look at them as just parang practice lang para next time that I encounter issues, I would know better on how to deal with them. So yeah, life is good.
Thank you for sharing such joy and such vibrance. I think that's something that people nowadays, especially during times like these, really need. We need more people sending out a positive message like yours. And so let's talk a little bit more po about your artwork. I find it so when I saw them at the gallery space, I was in shock and in awe at the vibrance of the colors. It's just so beautiful, and I do feel the joy and the vibrance, and just the same vibe that you have. It carries on in your artwork so much. So and also I noticed that the way your style is very unique. I mean, it's not common to see that kind of style in Filipino art. Just like what Ricky said, it almost feels like American, or actually, in my opinion, it feels like something I would find in a French jazz bistro. It has that kind of fun jazzy vibe for me. So how did you come up with this style of painting?
Um, it's not a secret that I have not taken a formal training in the art. So my art is very raw. On one hand, it has freed my mind on what colors to use. Schooled, like what
Mhm.
one of the artists in FCCA said, had I been schooled, I would be limited as to to put, what colors to put together. And so my being untrained has become an advantage in my art. So I couldn't care less if violet is beside green or those things. I do not observe any rules when I do my paintings. And so being immersed in the farm that I have here in Bao Camarines has, I think, made me think deeper and more reflective on life. So if you notice, my paintings subjects are all about flora. They don't really look like flowers, but for me they are. I have a forest, so those are the flowers that I imagine to grow in my forest. So they are kind of mythical because they're not real. And some of the paintings also would show some seeds because I believe we all start from seeds. Corny ba? But yeah, in the farm, things, graces start from seeds. So it also start as humans, we also started from seed. So yun ang aking inspirasyon in my body of works, especially now that the title is Life is Good, which I always say in whatever mutawi I make in my FB. So I always end my status with that line, life is good, because I believe that when we're positive, good things or positive things come to us. We attract
Mhm.
what we think.
Mhm. I think that's so true. The power of positive thinking is so powerful and so important. Yeah. And again, going back to the part about you being untrained, in a way I think it freed you um to explore more and go outside the proverbial box. so to speak.
Yes.
And that freedom that you have in your artwork and in your style of painting is so tangible and it's so evident, especially when you're
Thank you.
seeing the artworks up close. And it's so nice to just see them all displayed and framed, and the whole collection feels so cohesive. Not because you intended it that way, but just because that's who you are, and who you are is what directly translates onto the canvas, and that's such a beautiful thing.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so it's congratulations on such an amazing show. And yeah, we invite all of you, our audience, to view the actual show on site. It's at Art Lounge Manila at the podium. The show is running from September 17 right now until the 30th. So you still have time to check it out. Check out Life is Good. But for those who are only joining us online, let's see a video about showing you the artworks that are on display at Art Lounge Manila right now.
Bernadette De Los Santos, or BidiBidi, is an artivist who harnesses her designs and harmonizes it with the traditional skills of the women in the Camarines Sur communities she works with. As an artist and a farmer who has embraced the rural lifestyle and who is immersed in the raw and verdant greeneries of nature at her farm, La Huerta De Rosario, most of BidiBidi's works are lush and vibrantly colored florals, which are an embodiment of the abundance and fullness that her mantra, "Life is Good," encapsulates. She has recently been the first guest artist of Fundacion Sanso's ADE program that highlights creatives who use their art and design skills to empower communities.
It was so nice seeing the artworks up close, but it's even better to see them even closer because you can actually see the strokes and how expressive they are. Um, I'm sure you could almost feel what you were feeling when you were making each of those strokes, and that's something that's really fun to experience personally for me as someone who appreciates art. It was mentioned in the video that of course you're from Camarines Sur. As someone who was educated in Manila and who's had exhibits in the US, what led you to move back to Camarines Sur and live and work there?
Actually, I went back here. I came back here in Bao, Camarines Sur. This is my birth town. So I was born, raised, schooled here in Bao, Camarines Sur, and I had my time to hop the islands of the Philippines, and I
Mm,
trotted around the globe. But at the end of the day, it's always been Bao who that beckoned to me to come back. So in 2004, I came back to Bao, not really because it was my conscious choice or decision. It was then that my mother passed on, so I was left with the responsibility of taking care of small property of ours. And when I returned to Bao, lived for a while, I decided to remain and stay in Bao.
mm. So nice. And also, it was mentioned by Ricky that you are an artivist. So, can you tell us more about your advocacies of helping the women of Camarines Sur?
Yeah, when I came back to Baao, I started also farming. So it was that activity that made me realize how important it is that I teach women another skill aside from farming so that it would augment their family income. I noticed that from the time they plant the crops to the time they harvest, there's really nothing that they can earn from. So I started teaching the wives of farmers here in Baao in 2015 the art and skill of hand embroidery, and whatever they make, I I have to buy from them so that they can make again. And from these products that they make, I turn them into products that are now under the BidiBidi brand.
Oh, yes. And speaking of those hats and bags, I have a hat right here. Wait, ano ba yan? I have
Yeah,
one of
that's a
your hats.
crocheted hat. There, I actually work with different communities. So I have a community that does hand embroidery. There's another community that does basket weaving, and
Mm-hmm.
another community that does the crochet. So what you're wearing is actually a crocheted raffia hat. The flowers are also crocheted. So those are the products that my women, I call them the BidiBidi women, make
Mm-hmm.
for BidiBidi brand.
It's surprisingly comfy, and I actually like wearing it. It makes me feel happy just wearing it. It feels a lot like your artworks. Of course, so you provide them with the designs to create these patterns, or
Yes. The designs are from me. For example, I made a painting of faces of women's faces, and the original colors were from me. But when I made the women do the embroidery on the faces,
mm,
I do not dictate the colors they use. I
mm,
wanted to evoke their own creativity in the work they do in the hand embroidery. So they are free to use whatever colors they want to create the embroidery pieces that they make for me.
So in a way, it's also a collaborative effort between your art and their skill, their learned
Yes,
skill. Yeah, so
yes,
I think this is like such a great project, and of course yeah, there, you're right to notice that there's a lot of idle time from waiting for from planting and harvesting, and it's good that you've allowed them another avenue to express creativity and also to earn money at the same time. And I noticed that there's those really beautiful bags behind you. Are these some of the products that the women that you've helped are making and are available in your store right now? Can you tell us
yes.
more about the
Yeah,
designs?
actually, these bags are really just one of the many bags that we make. So if you notice, the very base basket is hand woven from the bangkuan grass, and then we have a lot of crocheted flowers, and some are insect forms. Because as a farmer, I am immersed in the real natural scenario at the farm. So we have to live with insects. We don't kill them. They're beneficial to us. So the bags have insects. Also your hat.
Yeah.
You notice there's a bee on your hat? Yeah. So it's also kind of making people aware that we also need the these small creatures so that our ecosystem is complete or perfect. So another bag that we have here is this. So the shell is also made of bangkuan grass, but the
Oh.
embellishment is hand embroidery
Mm.
and crochet. So if you notice, we use upcycled denim and camo. We patchwork them and wrap the basket with the patchwork. So I claim that my products are also green, and
Mhm.
because we I think 98% are biodegradable, and most of them are upcycled.
Mhm. That's so nice. So your are these hats and these bags are not only artworks, they're also livelihood for a lot of women, and also they carry a message of sustainability, which is so important these days. We need to help our planet because it's been
Yes.
helping us and sustaining us, and it's nice to hear that people like you are helping others do their part in saving the planet. Yeah, and so they're so nice, and I think these things would be perfect to give away as gifts, especially since Christmas time is coming up soon. Um, are these products available from your on-site shop, or are they also available online? I'm sure some of the our online audience are curious where they can get their hands on these amazing merchandise. So could you tell us a little bit more about how we can get our hands on these hats and bags?
Excuse me.
Oh,
Okay. Somebody must be remembering me.
remembering you fondly.
Yes, fondly. Okay. So the BidiBidi merchandise, they are all available here at the BidiBidi shop, which is physically located here in Camarines Sur. But I have an IG account and an FB account where people can just send me a message and let me know which bags are they like. So we ship via LBC to any part of the country. We also ship via DHL to other countries.
Oh, okay. So for those of you who are interested, that's your chance. But once again, these hats and these bags are just a reflection of BidiBidi's art. And if you want to see the real thing, once again, the real thing is displayed here in Manila at the podium again from September 17 to 30. Do not miss your chance to get to see these wonderful artworks live and in person. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us and chat with us and share with us these wonderful things that you've created and your art as well. Do you have a final message for our audience right now?
Yes, thank you for having me. I am very thankful to Art Lounge Manila for launching my solo exhibit. For my friends out there, for those who are watching, all I want to say is you have to follow your bliss. Do whatever makes you happy. That's the only way. And yeah, when you do that, definitely life is good.
Okay, so there you have it, everyone. The secret to having a good life. From BidiBidi herself, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, BidiBidi. And thank you to our online audience for joining us this afternoon. We really hope that you get a chance to visit Art Lounge Manila and view these wonderful artworks in person. And once again, I'd like to remind you that we have a YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and like and share our Facebook page and our Instagram pages at Art Lounge Manila. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a great afternoon and stay safe, everyone. Once again, from Art Lounge Manila, I'm Sindel Tiausas, bidding you a good afternoon.